Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about uniparental disomy. As we can see here in this figure, this is male and this is female. So this is the set of chromosomes which is coming from male having L and M. This is a set of the chromosome which is coming from the female having Q and R. But the child of this particular parent, these two parents, is having L and M, both the chromosomes from the father. So this is uniparental disomy, which basically reflects the appearance of the chromosomes from one parent only. So this occurs when a person receives two copies of a chromosome or part of a chromosome from one parent and no copies from the other parent. It can occur as a random event during the formation of egg or sperm. We'll just discuss about it from the meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, or may happen in early fetal development. And this arises due to errors in meiosis. So let's go to meiosis. So meiosis, all of us know, occurs during gametogenesis in the female and male reproductive organs. So the process of meiosis has two steps. One is meiosis 1 and another one is meiosis 2. So as we can see here, these are the chromosomes, and during the prophase 1 of meiosis, the chromosome forms sister chromatids, and in prophase 1 there is a process called crossing over, and exchange of genetic segments occur. Then in metaphase 1, the chromosomes are aligned towards the metaphasic plate. Then in the process of anaphase 1 and telophase 1, the homologous chromosomes, they get separated. So the homologous chromosomes are separated, resulting in the haploid formation of two haploid daughter cells. So this 2n becomes n and n. Now in meiosis 2, these daughter cells which have haploid set of chromosome but two sister chromatids, so these participate in prophase 2, and in metaphase 2 these sister chromatids are aligned, and finally it leads to separation of two sister chromatids, resulting in the formation of 4 cells from the 2. Now if there is any kind of problem in meiosis 1, so as you can see from the figure, in meiosis 1 actually homologous chromosomes get separated. So in this cell, the homologous chromosome, one set is maternal and another set is paternal. So if there are problems in meiosis 1, then it is called heterodisomy, because if the same chromosome from if a particular chromosome from both the parent is going into one daughter cell, that will be heterodisomy. But if the problems are occurring in meiosis 2, it will be homodisomy, and we shall see. So uniparental disomy usually arises due to errors in meiosis. Two chromosomes in either the egg or sperm cell fail to separate, and both get passed to the fetus. As a result, the fetus inherits 3 chromosomes rather than 2. So if two homologous chromosomes are identical due to errors in meiosis 2, this is uniparental disomy. While if two homologs are different but still from the same parent due to meiosis 1 error, this is uniparental heterodisomy. As we saw in this case, because homologous chromosomes will form heterodisomy, and when the sister chromatids they fail to separate, that will be homodisomy. So this is a normal meiotic development. As we can see, the chromosomes are getting separated, resulting in formation of 4 haploid cells. But in this case, there is non-disjunction in meiosis 1. So because of non-disjunction in meiosis 1, it will result in heterodisomy. So some cells will receive lesser chromosome, some cells will receive more chromosome. And if the non-disjunction is occurring in meiosis 2, it will result in homodisomy. So as we can see here in this figure, this is again the same thing. Here we can see this is normal oocyte, normal sperm, resulting in for the formation of healthy zygote. In trisomy rescue, this is a disomic oocyte which fuses with the normal sperm. Now this becomes trisomic zygote. In majority of the cases, any of the extra copy can be lost, but if the copy from the male parent is lost, then it will result in maternal UPD. or if the disomic oocyte fertilizes with nullisomic sperm, it will also result in maternal UPD. And if in this case also this is nullisomic sperm, so resulting in maternal UPD. And in post fertilization mitotic error, these errors will occur after the fertilization, normal fertilization has occurred. So during the cell division, during the mitotic cell division, if there is any kind of problems in the chromosome, so that one cell receives both the copies from the female parent, it will result in maternal UPD. There are many diseases which are occurring because of this maternal or paternal UPD, and there is a huge role of genome imprinting also in the uniparental disomy, as we shall see. So there are numerous recognized cases of disomy of the sex chromosome. This is 47XXX and 47XXY, and because these are the problems in the sex chromosome, so they are easily identified by cytogenetic studies. But if there is problem in the autosomes, then we need to analyze it by using specific marker present on the particular chromosome. And here is also a reported case of father to son transmission of hemophilia A. Hemophilia A, all of us know, is a X-linked character, and in a male son, in a male offspring, the sex chromosomes, in sex chromosome, X chromosome comes from mother. So X chromosome will come from mother and the Y chromosome actually will come from father. But in this case, what happened was this X and Y, both of them, they came from father. So this is paternal disomy, and because of this, because the father was suffering from hemophilia A, so the son is also suffering from hemophilia A, because both X and Y chromosomes, they are coming from father to son. So this resulted in inheritance of hemophilia A from father to son. This is a very typical case of uniparental disomy for sex chromosomes. And UDP has also been reported as a rare cause of autosomal recessive disorder, cystic fibrosis, in the offsprings of a couple in whom one parent was a heterozygous carrier of the variant allele. So if one parent is this is an autosomal character, so this is like, let's say, chromosome number 7, and this is another chromosome number 7. So let's say the parent is a carrier, the parent is having a defective gene, so this is heterozygous, this is healthy gene, and this is defective gene. So because the healthy gene is present, so this parent will not manifest the disease. But in case this disomic condition goes or is passed on to the offspring, then the child will suffer from cystic fibrosis. Prader-Willi syndrome is also another typical condition, which is an example of genome imprinting as well as this uniparental disomy. We shall see it. Let's discuss one diagram first. So there are three ways in which uniparental disomy can occur. We have discussed this. So gametes are depicted in circles, zygotes in triangles, and chromosome is shown as bar. It is present as one copy. So this is a gamete, and this is a nullisomic gamete. So this is resulting in uniparental disomy, because in the zygote both the copies are coming from one parent. Okay, and in this case there is these are the normal gametes, but here there are double copies of the particular chromosome. So this is disomic gamete and this is a normal monosomic one, and the zygote becomes trisomic. So by chance 33% of the time the one lost will have come from the normal gamete. So this is deleted, this is normal gametes copy is deleted, resulting in the disomic zygote arising from this particular gamete. And this is again unisomic, this is a nullisomic. So this repairs itself to make its copy, again resulting in uniparental disomy. So we will see that with the help of we can detect these disomy condition with the help of PCR and microsatellite or other DNA based markers on the chromosome of the interest. And now we'll discuss briefly about Prader-Willi syndrome. So in genome imprinting, what happens is some copies of maternal genes, they are methylated, and this methylation is epigenetic modification, and the copies which are methylated are said to be imprinted. That is, they don't show up, they don't express that protein. So in this case, let's say this is maternal imprinting, so the expression will occur of father's gene. So if the gene is maternally imprinted, that means the maternal copy of the gene would not express, and the expression will come from the paternal gene. So this Prader-Willi syndrome, in this only paternal copy of gene at chromosome 15 is expressed. So that means the gene is maternally imprinted. Now if gene is maternally imprinted and there are defects in parental copy of the gene, so what will happen? So the child will have normal healthy copy from the mother and a defective copy from the father. So despite of having a normal healthy copy, this gene is actually imprinted. So the child will suffer from Prader-Willi syndrome because the paternal copy is mutated. So mutation can be in the form of deletion. Part of the chromosome 15 is deleted because of this disomic problem, or if both the copies come from mother, so in the case of maternal UDP, both the copies are coming from mother, in that case also child won't be able to express the mother's gene, resulting in the disease condition. And if there is mutation in the father's copy, and the father's copy is mutated, then also the child won't be able to express. So this disease will not occur if the father's copy is healthy and the mother's copy is anyways, either it is healthy or unhealthy, but it is actually imprinted, so it will not show up. Another a reverse condition applies to Angelman syndrome. In this, active set of maternal genes are present at chromosome number 15 and imprinted paternal genes are present. So in this case, the paternal genes are imprinted. So because they are methylated and maternal genes are active. So if there is any problem in the maternal copy of the gene, it will result in Angelman syndrome, even if the father's copy is healthy. So if there is paternal disomy, the copies are coming from father, then also this Angelman syndrome condition will appear. So uniparental disomy is basically because of defects in meiosis 1 or meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 defects result in heterodisomy, meiosis 2 results in homodisomy, and there are certain disease conditions which occur because of these disorders. So this slide shows multiple diseases which occur because of these disomy, uniparental disomy. So these are selected readings which you can refer for uniparental disomy.